Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but I'm sure you'll be seeing me before the New Year with some new videos. But a Merry Christmas today is being recorded on December the 24th, and I was trying to do a live and everything was messing up and making me look like I had no idea what I was doing on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're seeing little bleeps of videos anywhere and wondering what was Corey doing, it was feeding through on your end, but on my end it was saying nothing was happening. And so I couldn't see it saying the tokens weren't accepted. So I don't know. And I couldn't get it to work. But it kept saying it was still recorded, it was still in live. So crazy little journey, but I take that as a sign that I was not meant to be in live and I was meant to do this as a recording. So I'm going to trust the divine guidance to give you the message that there is. So on this Christmas Eve, we do have a lot of energy that's happening. Energy doesn't stop because a Christmas Eve arrives. Energy is moving, energy is shifting, energy is consistently flowing, and we are energy and the energy that's all around us. And so we do have some strong Capricorn energy. We just on the heels of the new moon of last night of last night. And so the new moon was happening. And today we have many more things that are also happening out there as well. If you're hearing any background noise and music, that's not my music. I don't have any rights to that music. That's TVs that are flowing through my house as the house is full, and it's good to have the house full. It's nice not to have a quiet home, but I did want to take some time to give this message for you. So I am going with my own cards today, as this is the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards that look very different than this now. And the booklet is now done. We're working on all the details of getting them ready to go into publication. So we're so excited that we're one step closer. But so we have a lot of the Jupiter and Aries energy, as we have, I think it's like the Aries in our Aries returning to 0 degrees. I think it is on like Christmas Day, which really brings forth new beginnings, rebirth type of thing. And I don't know the whole details in astrology language. I know energy. So what I'm getting is that sense of, we have the world really truly looking like a shit show today. And there is so much that's happening in weather. There's so much that's happening in travel. There's so much that's happening in so many areas that is a true shit show. There is just so much energy, and there is also a lot of static that is happening. There is a lot of that synastry kind of energy that's very much there, and we are bearing witness to it. And so if we turn off everything, we don't know what's happening, right? If we just turn off the TVs, if we just stop following the news, if we stop looking at social media, and we're somewhere where it's safe and we're all together and we have the people that are together in our lives, then you can exist in your world, and it's a beautiful world, and you can create it a beautiful world. You can, ignore the rest for now and to move past it. But if you're existing in it and you're existing in the shitstorm and you're caught in it, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anguish. There's a lot of, anger. There's a lot of all things, but what's in our control? What can I control today? What can I control in my future? And so there is a lot of energy that's saying, there's a lot of opportunity coming up in a lot of this energy for us to really see things in a different light, to really see things for what they are, to see our experiences for what they are. What is causing this for me today, or what is happening here? And there's still a lot of protest energy. There's still a lot of things that are happening in the world, which is, a way into, it's like the challenges, the struggles to get our way into a new beginning, or to be given a voice, or to be able to be heard, to be seen, to be appreciated, to be valued, to remember that the everyday people matter the most. And so during these times is that we may be in the comforts of our home and we give thanks and blessings, and we say, with such gratitude and love and appreciation for where we are, but we also send out prayers, and I send out my prayers to those who are not there. And a few weeks ago, or last week, I recorded a power of prayer, which I believe I shall release today. And so there is a recorded prayer that I recorded that I feel like I may be releasing right away here as well. And so, or maybe coming in the day or in the next day. But in these moments and in these times is that we pray for safe travels. We pray for resolution. We pray for solutions. We pray for things, but what's in our control? And sometimes prayer is the only thing that's in our control. Sometimes to hold space is the only thing that's in our control. Sometimes it's to give people space. Sometimes it's to give people a free way out to just say, you know what, don't feel the pressure. Don't feel like you have to be, don't feel like you have to show up if you don't feel like you can show up. Don't feel like you can do those things. And if you're in one of those, if you're in that place of really needing to feel that sense of love and nurturing, if you go into, I think it's on YouTube, and I believe it's also in More Than Existing Academy. There is a recording that I did of a live event that I shared, a webinar that I shared last week or the week before. And it's truly about kindness, and it's about being able to be kind to ourselves, be kind to others, self-care. One of the greatest self-care things we can do is kindness. And when we're kind to ourselves, we are kind to others. So it's, not running, not avoiding, not pretending, not grumbling, complaining that somebody is ruining our day because they don't have it within them to be what we want them to be during the day, or that the world can't be what we want it to be. We can't make things perfect, and we can't change the way somebody is feeling. We can be the encouragement, we can be a hug, we can be a support, we can be anything that we can be. But the choices within ourselves of how we want to perceive our world. And sometimes we need the rest to be able to fill our tanks and to be able to recharge again. And so when we look at gatherings, we look at it in time. It's like, oh, it has to happen today, it has to happen tomorrow. But the celebration is when we can come to that, when we can come together. So when we can come together within ourselves, or when we can come together in groups, or when we can come together as a family gathering, when we can do that. So if we can't do a big crowd, when we can get together with that one person or that special person within our lives, when we can do that, that's when the time is right. That's when the ideal time is. And when we free ourselves of being trapped in the illusions of it has to happen right now, or I'm going to miss that. What's happening in the times we think we're going to miss is the day itself, what the day represents. But where it's really is when we meet, when we gather, when we feel that sense of our energy rise, when we feel the love, when we feel the connection, when we feel the bond, when we feel something that makes it feel like someone just turned the lights on, and you just see a surprise party happening within yourself, and your emotions elevate, you feel like you're rising up. Well, that's the right time. That's the right day. And there's so much pressure on what those days should be for us. And they're not always meant to be those days. And so the card that we pulled is the timeless treasure. She is Una. And, when you look at her, is in my heart when she started to come to life was I channeled through a whole period of my writings of when Lady Liberty appeared. And when Lady Liberty appeared to me, it was freedom. And that when people would arrive, from other countries, and especially in the Great Depression or during the wars or during times of having to escape, and it's like now again, it's like when we come through that sense of you see this thing that represents freedom for you. You see something that just gives you that rite of passage. And when you enter it, you get the right to be whoever and whatever you want. So when you come home to you, when you find that sense of being able to be you and to allow others to be themselves, or when we're thinking situations, or when we finally get to that point of when we can just finally bring the joy and bring the party to life and bring the celebration to life. And it's whenever it is divinely guided to be. Everything else is the challenges, the obstacles, the things that get into our way of, telling us that it's not going to be, that it can't happen, that things are not going to change, or it's always going to be this way. So if it's this way once, it doesn't mean it's going to be this way again. And there's a lot of energy right now that says this will be, we will not see these times again. Well, we're never going to see these times again. We're never going to see anything that's previously happened again. We're never going to see this morning, whatever happened this morning, you're not going to see it again. You may have similar situations, you may have similar experiences, but you'll never have that one again. You'll never have that again, but it doesn't mean there's not a new one. It just means it's never going to be this again. So what are we going to do in this moment? What are we going to do in this experience? How can we make these experiences be the experiences that help us to feel like we're alive, to make us feel like, we are important, we matter, that others matter, that, you know, that there's just so many things that bring that value. So we have the cosmic beauty, we have Zoran coming in. And when Zoran comes in, Zoran represents the sacral, the solar plex, and the healing of the heart. So this energy that we have also has a lot of Chiron energy here, and Chiron is very much the wounded healer. And so it's not that we're opening up wounds. It's not that these are wounds that were already here. These are the things that we really need to be able to, when these times come, it rises up the good, bad, and the ugly in us. And so sometimes if we're in that state of being lost in an experience, is that we see those parts for ourselves that we probably don't even like, or those parts for ourselves, it brings out, it brings out the worst, it raises tempers, it causes tantrums, it causes all these things, but it also gives us an opportunity to what do I need to learn from these experiences? Well, nothing is guaranteed and nothing can be taken for granted. So when we set ourselves and our sights upon the way we believe things are going to be, well, we never know what's going to really unfold. We never know how we hope. We do it with a hope, but we don't think of it as hope. We think of it as a guarantee. I'm going home. I'm doing this. This is happening. But what's really holding you to that is hope that all things align to make sure that happens. And then when all things don't align, is that something else arises within us. Well, maybe on our way to that sense of hope is that we lose hope, we lose faith so easily. How do I lose hope and lose faith? Is because I have a design destiny, a goal. We have something that we set so concrete into our minds and into our hearts, the way things are supposed to be, but not everything goes that way. And that's throughout all of life. Anything can change, our situations, our moments in the blink of an eye, anything. So if you're listening to this and you're in a shitty moment, then maybe the next moment, maybe the next thing, maybe something beautiful, maybe something where strangers come together. Maybe it's the family is strangers. Maybe it's something that inspires us. Maybe that sense of hope. Maybe it's not to lose sight of the whole destination, is to learn the power to live from our hearts, to live in the moments, to embrace the moments, to know that this moment that I am in, this moment, this experience that I have to exist in is a moment that can be, that the next moment can be the change that I seek, and who I am and what I am and how I'm showing up in my moment is going to matter the most. And one of the things that I use in my writings is, who am I, who are you at the end of every difficult situation? When you see yourself make it, stepping back into grace, when you see yourself having to make that tough choice, make that tough decision, and then having to flow into the next, is that everything that on the other side of that, when we finally say, yes, I accept, when I finally say, yes, I let go, when I finally say, yes, I surrender into a situation, or when I finally say, yes, and fuck this, I'm standing up, and I'm standing up to a truth. There's just so much energy. There's just so many conversations. There's just so many moving pieces right now. We are not all in the same boat. We are not all in the same situation. We are not all in the same energy. And there's some existing in absolute joy and excitement. There's some that are in struggles and desperation. There's some that are in sadness. There's some that are in all of these experiences. But the one thing that they're telling us, and that they really want you to remember, is that sense of hope and faith, and to truly believe in you, to believe that your next breath, your next moment can be the opportunity where you rise up, where you rise into that sense of light. When we turn the lights on in the shadow, when we're in our shadows, when we're in our sense of darkness, if we allow a light to come on in those places, we may see something that allows the light to come on everywhere for us. If we can be the light in a sense of where the world feels dark, then maybe that light may be enough for another light to feel like they can guide the way. And when we allow ourselves to see ourselves at the end of all the previous difficult situations, use the knowledge that that here you are now, so you made it through. You made it through that difficult situation. You made it through that experience. And if you're here right now and you're wondering, what am I going to do? Grab the knowledge, grab the knowing from that past experience and use it to be the jet fuel, use it to be the energy, use it to be the power that rises you into a state of knowing that you can have faith in you to know that if you got through this, you can get through that. There's so many beautiful ways for us to be able to be everything that we seek in the world. And home is right here. Home is within us. And all celebrations, all gatherings, all parties sometimes will wait for us. So if we're late arriving, the party's not really going to begin until you're there, because the joy that you bring, the love that you bring, the energy that you bring will be more than enough. There is a lot of tired energy today. There's a lot of complications, just like me trying to get in here, just like me trying to do a live, and it wasn't meant to happen. And in that moment, I was feeling myself get to that frustration. I was feeling those rise of those emotions, but then I let the light in. It wasn't meant to be that way. It was meant to be this way, so that I could be in just the energy of the divine and not in the energy of the world today, I think. So I can be in the energy of the divine from my healed heart, from my sense of where I am today, from where I know I have been to where I am today. I can tell you the thing that got me here was hope and faith. And I had to have faith in the woman who was at the end of all of the difficult situations. And that was me. Am I perfect? Am I healed fully? Is there things within me? No. Is my day the ideal day? No. Is things absolutely perfect? No. But here I know what I'm giving birth to in my next moment is the possibility that I can make a new choice of how I want to exist in my own emotions, how I want to be able to exist in the rest of my day, and where I want to place that energy and that love and that light. And that allowing ourselves to evolve through our emotions is just knowing, sometimes it's just knowing that, is it in my control? What's in my control? If we can't change the weather, we can't change the mind of the airlines. If we can't change the minds of countries, we can change our own mindset. We can shift our own mindset, and we can be the change within ourselves that we want to see in this world. And that's where we start to feel and restore that sense of hope. And hope will follow faith, or faith will follow hope. And wherever there is faith, there is hope. And when you turn it all back on, that you just know that beautiful things can happen even in challenging times. Do we have challenging times? Of course we do, because we're on our way to something new. We're on our way to beautiful things. So our final card is the desired reflection, which is Evangeline. And so if we want to look out into the world and let all that is out into the world be our desired reflection, or do we want to look inward? If you allow your soul to be your reflection, you may see things that you have not yet seen, because when the world is your reflection and you are seeing everything that you're programmed to see, you're seeing everything that is happening outside, but what's happening inside, what's happening within, and get closest to that power of that beautiful sparkle of light, that golden light, the golden ray, the sense of just being able to know that we always have the divine. And when we ask for divine guidance, when we ask for that assistance, when we ask for patience, when we ask for support, when we ask for love, we got to be silent enough to listen. Because as long as we keep running the same track, we're never going to get there. If it's too noisy, you can't hear the voice of that which is trying to come in to provide to you the things that you need from the divine. The angels are with us, the guides are with us, the beautiful holy realm is with us. Beautiful things are here. The magi, the wise ones. There is so much magic right now, and magic and miracles can happen. So, it's what action are we putting in towards that miracle? And we may not get exactly what we want, but we may get what we need. And sometimes we may be able to, enough power of prayers and enough light shining may be able to change the minds of some of those sinister energies that are doing the wrong things for the wrong reason. And as long as you do the right thing for the right reason, things align. So our acknowledgement is to really truly acknowledge that every bit of the power is within us. We are the power, we are the light, we are the love. We can be everything that we need to be in these moments to make our choice to decide which part of the line are we going to head? Are we going to create our heaven on earth or a hell on earth, right? Which place do we go and where do we want to be within ourselves? So look after yourself. Need glasses. This is Diana Cooper, Angels of Light. This is these. And so look after yourself by acknowledging your desires and needs and taking steps to meet them. Examine and note your gifts, talents, and achievements. When you accept all aspects of yourself, you feel centered and confident. Then you can genuinely acknowledge others, become aware of and nurture the good qualities of the people in your life so that they feel relaxed and happy in your presence. Angel wisdom reminds you to recognize who you truly are, an evolved spirit in a human body. When you acknowledge your spiritual dimensions, you will align with your true self and your true spirit will soar. I acknowledge who I truly am. And so by acknowledging who we truly are, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that when our human is having a shitty day, maybe we need to jump ship into our spirit, get into the sense of our spirit and know spirit to spirit, heart to heart, love to love, that we are never separated. We are never apart. We are a whole lot more alike than we think. We're not as different as we have convinced ourselves, and that beautiful things can happen and miracles can show up. Much love. And I hope you have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I will see you again in the coming days. Thank you for all your love and all of your support. And wherever you are in the world, sending my prayers, lighting my prayer circles, and placing all of the world in these prayer circle today, praying for beautiful miracles. And I hold on to that hope and faith and just staying on the faith train. If you remember way back when I started with the other pandemic stuff, I said, I will not get off the faith train. Get on the faith train. I am on the faith train. I have never left the faith train. And it is faith that has gotten me to here. It is faith that'll get me through. And the faith train got lots of room. So get on the faith train. There's as a train just went by downstairs on the TV. Get on the faith train. Much love. Have a beautiful Christmas and just make the best of whatever we have and be true to you. Much love. Bye-bye.